shuts every one of them down. That's a full team kill.
He's looking for third. He's gonna get it.
Against Kinger now in a 1 vs 2. Once again, he finds one. He finds the second. He's still alive. Can he go in?
Oh my goodness.
He's gonna go bar down and give Saints the lead again.
Welcome back after a quick little intermission from some HUE Fest 22 action. We had Saints take down Aquinas Esports 4-0 in some Rocket League earlier. However, now moving into the Overwatch side of things. Gonna be still have me, Daniel Jobin on the desk, but got my bird's eye view buddy Matt in the desk here. How
Yes,
you feeling,
sir.
buddy?
I'm feeling pretty great. You know, we saw the Overwatch team go at it for the first time last night, the first time of the season, I should say, and we saw a pretty interesting performance come out from them. So I'm excited to see what we'll be seeing coming out of them tonight. You know, the 1-1 start is it was a bit interesting match for anyone who watched the game last night. You know that we saw some. It's hard to explain almost. We saw a completely dominant performance from the first series, and it kind of ended up being flipped on its head for the second time around. But hopefully this time we'll see Saints stay dominant all the way through. And, you know, they're going up against, like you said, Illinois Wesleyan University.
Yeah.
And, again, these are some pretty respectable opponents. So Saints, they'll definitely need to be bringing their A game.
Yeah, and we are seeing a pretty new look Overwatch roster. Actually, say very new look compared to last semester. So a lot of new players filling in. Still have a couple of the same faces, but majority is a new roster this time. And say, as you said yesterday, they started off winning a 2-0, then they lost to a 2-0, and I think you said even earlier when we were having a little quick meeting, they played some, like, we'll call it, you said off meta or creative, or
yeah,
playing inspired.
They were trying some experimental comps there in that second series, and unfortunately it didn't end up paying off, to say the least.
Yeah.
But you know, hopefully this time, I'm sure by now they've had a chance to go back, look at the VOD.
Yeah.
They've probably been able to pinpoint what went wrong, and hopefully we see those mistakes kind of ironed out going into tonight's match.
Yeah, and for anyone that didn't catch it, so say I didn't get to catch all of it as well. What do you think the comp was, or what was the comp was that they used yesterday that they found like such good success with, and maybe why do you think they fell apart in the second series?
Well, we saw a lot of it was just seemed to be not so like one big thing that we saw, especially on Rialto, the first map, was we saw a really nice Orisa Diva Sombra comp, which it's not really a hard meta comp, but Saints actually played it very well. They used the Sombra and the Diva in order to find isolated targets, and then they went in quick, they went in fast, and they just straight up started deleting these people in order to move on, take a 6v5, and they cleaned up from there. Unfortunately, the second time around the series, the way they played it, there didn't quite seem to be that same coordination they had the first time, so it seemed like something just kind of fell apart there, and it didn't end up working, finding them the same success that it did the first time. And then by the end of the series, as we saw in Nepal, we saw some very creative stuff with a double main tank setup, also running a Doom there in the DPS position, and the double main tank setup it's not something very often seen. You know, I
can hear you cringing when you say as a main tank. Even I can hear you cringe. When
you know, like as a main tank, there's nothing I love more than seeing Reinhardts and seeing Winstons, but both at the same time, I'm not sure about, right? Because you have a ton of ability to press W. You can go in super hard, right? But you lose out a lot of utility, and once you do go in, you don't really have anybody to really help you. You're kind of relying entirely on that cleave damage from the Reinhardt and the Winston. So if the enemy team, especially if they spread out, you're not going to be able to find that cleave, and you just kind of turn into very large targets.
Yeah, and say especially as you said, if you're playing those main tanks, the good thing is you can get in right now. You can get in really, really easily, but if your abilities are on CD and that Sombra rolls up and you get hacked or something else happens, that 3-4 seconds that you're either vulnerable or way out of position, you're dead. It's against a coordinated team, that's going to be the end of it.
For sure, yeah. And so hopefully St. Clair, if they do decide to run that again, we are of course running the same map pool tonight that we saw yesterday, so there is a chance they might try and run it again. If they do, hopefully they decide to play it in a slightly different style, maybe scout a little bit more, see if they can find some better opportunities in order to press that go button rather than just running it straight down mid and hoping to find success.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that is interesting with our new teams as well. We saw it with Rocket League as well, talking about how like rotations and synergy and like teamwork and chemistry are like very, very big components of these games as well. And to have a brand new team with a bunch of new players, so and that's interesting though. As you said, they found a lot of success and they kind of like steered away. So maybe even though they're like, okay, we know that this worked, and maybe they got comfortable on it and said, hey, we kind of want to try this instead and see like maybe we're even better at this. But I think the one thing we should take away is that if they find a comp that they like you said earlier in the first series, if they find a set of heroes that they really think gel well and they play well on, I think they should probably just stick back to it, at least get through this bracket and try to
For
find some
sure,
success
yeah.
going through the tournament.
Yeah, like I think you can definitely attribute a little bit of what happened last night to some amount of maybe overconfidence from getting that 2-0 so quickly in the first series. Yeah. And it's like, you know, once you get a 2-0 like that, you're going to be riding high, right? You're going to be like, oh man, we just cleaned house. We're chilling now.
First game
we can
together,
just
really.
exactly, right? So I think they might have just gotten a little bit too comfortable, and, you know, credit to Northeastern. They did take advantage of the opening that created, and they were able to find the reverse 0-2 on us, right? Yeah. So hopefully tonight, though, we see St. Clair, even if they do end up stomping that first game, hopefully we see them keep that kind of momentum, keep that mentality, run it all the way through both the series in order to pull out a clean sweep here tonight.
I think you mentioned Rialto was the first map. What in your eyes would be like the ideal Rialto comp for the Saints to run based on what we saw yesterday? What do you think, like, even if maybe it's not what they ran in the first series, anything you think that they could run instead?
Honestly, I think so long, like, the comp they ran with that Orisa, Diva, the Sombra, it can work. You just gotta make sure that you are like focusing on like that win condition of finding these isolated targets. And a big thing is making sure you don't get picked off, because if you don't have all 6 members alive when you're going in for that engage, it's gonna be very, very hard to take it successfully. We are finally heading into map here, St. Clair College versus Illinois Wesleyan University. And we see the rosters coming out from St. Clair. It's gonna be the exact same thing we saw yesterday. We have Squeak and Hyun on the tank roles, Emerin and Crime on the DPS, and Redix and Rain as our supports. Rain is, of course, our returning player. Arjun just playing under a different name at the moment. Illinois Wesleyan University, they're going to be actually running almost a they're going to be running a double shield comp, but not quite a mirror. We see some differences come out here in the DPS. St. Clair, it's looking like they're going to be running this Hanzo Tracer. Hanzo, of course, is great for controlling long angles. You have lots of spam, especially with those storm arrows. And on something like Rialto, very powerful. That's why we see double shield being run, right? You want to control those long angles. Whereas Illinois, they're opting more for this like kind of bunker comp, running the Torbjorn and the Ashe. The Ashe is going to be looking to get lots of value with those dynamites, sending them over shields onto these clumped up people. And we actually do see Crime swap back onto the Ashe, so we're going to see an Ashe matchup here. It should be very interesting.
Yeah, I was about to say, I wonder if we'll see maybe the swap off of Hanzo after the first point too. And you still have the long range engagements, but you don't have like, it's like starting with a Widow. You kind of get a free couple shots to try to get that early pick on Rialto, so maybe we'll see some of that. Say a little bit of back and forth. Say the double shield comp definitely, I would say very important for pushing out for that first point, because you're pretty much exposed from all angles, both high and low ground. As you see, a couple of members of the Saints going to be on that low ground as well. You're going to try to get some damage going with the Sigma there, and say both teams. It's very, very hard to move this point when you get into like point 2 and everything. So it'd be really interesting to see what team's defense or offense is able to break through first.
For sure, yeah. Now we see Saints have made a nice rotation. They've actually managed to force Illinois off the high ground here. A nice shot from Crime, takes the Ashe low, but doesn't quite find the pick. But now St. Clair, they do have to control the high ground. They're going to be able to start setting up angles and looking for a pick here. A nice pull from Illinois is going to pull the tanks off the high ground there, and now Squeak is engaged in a brawl with the Orisa. Hero actually managed to take out Hyun. The Immortality field not quite being enough to save him, but Crime trades it out, finds a pick onto Funman. Right now, both teams in a 5v5 here. St. Clair, they're kind of going to play it a little bit safe. They know they have a spawn advantage, so they're just going to back out a little bit, bide their time, and wait for all 6 players to come back before re-engaging here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when we get some ultimates online there, because that was a great little back and forth skirmish.
Oh, a nice pick from Crime.
Start of it, yeah, fantastic shot. They're going to be a little Ashe on Ashe Crime, no pun intended. Emerin and Grain both going to find one as well. Now 3 members of Illinois down. Looks like it will be 4. 4 going to go down. 5 will go down as well. Ashe now in the respawn, but St. Clair getting everything they need. They're able to shut down 5 members of IWU, and great job there to start things off.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what this comp is all about, right? You want to look for those opening picks. That's why you're running these snipers, because they enable you to do that. If you can find someone who's not behind those shields, someone who's peeked out of cover, and you just take their head off, that completely opens up the map for you and lets you do pretty much whatever you want. And like we see right here, Illinois, they're not even going to get a contest. St. Clair are able to walk it in, and now they have the daunting task of trying to clear this high ground. This is, of course, where they were stopped for a good long while in Series 2 yesterday, but looks like they're already starting to put some pressure up there. We see the storm arrows coming out, and St. Clair, they are going to have a few ults coming online in order to take this.
Yeah, the Baptiste ult is there and available. Ashe is, and Bob is ready as well. Now the Hanzo ult is going to come through. Redx going to find the kill early. Going to be a couple shots coming through. Crime going to find another kill. They're going to take out one of the tanks. So tank and support down for IWU. Now St. Clair may be able to make a play, and anyone that's played Overwatch knows just how difficult this P2 is to get that final push and actually take building control and push this through. But St. Clair so far having virtually no issues with it.
Yeah, for sure. That was a beautiful window there coming out from Rain. Redx had a quick follow-up. You know, the Zen volley came through and just immediately deleted a member. And you got to give a shout-out to Redx. You know, a main support player with a performance like this on Zenyatta, typically a flex support, he's doing really great right now. And he does have that Transcendence, which could be used to counter the push here from Illinois.
Yeah, Arissa at 80% for this ult charge here. HUE gonna try to find some damage. Gonna get the Sigma, gonna
huge
pop a bunch up,
flux.
slam him back down, gonna find a couple kills as well, gonna find 2 actually. Emran gonna find one as well. Ash gonna take out Bob. Redx gonna find a kill as well. So the Saints once again just pretty much acing Illinois off the point, and once again 5 are gonna go down, and the Saints are gonna walk this one through P2. And another great job by Emran, just landing shot after shot after shot, just delaying those spawns just a little bit and letting Sinclair get a little more progress there.
Yeah, that was an incredible flux there from Hyun. He found so many people. He found the Orisa who didn't have the gold to escape. And Sinclair, they had beautiful follow-up fire onto that. The Orisa got deleted pretty much before she even hung in the air. Like, just on the way up, she got taken down so quickly. And a huge thing here, Redux actually, he was able to save the Transcendence. They didn't have to use it against Illinois' Flux, so that could be huge going into this. Hyun finds another pick onto the Orisa. Sinclair, they once again have a numbers advantage. Now the Transcendence finally does come out, and it's going to enable Sinclair to push forward, take a lot of space. And they're trying to deny Illinois these angles. Now the Bongo coming out from Squeak, that Supercharger, Sinclair, they're all going to be damage boosted. Emran's finding some really nice shots right now. The pull comes out. Now the window, there's so much damage here coming up from the side of Sinclair right now. Finally, the Transcendence from Illinois is being forced out, and it's keeping them up at the moment. But Sinclair doing a nice job disengaging, trying to stay alive, but it's not going to be quite enough as Illinois are able to push back and start finding some picks here.
Yeah, they're going to get a couple picks there. Going to drop both of the tanks, and one of the support's going to go down. So Sinclair probably finally going to play for their first reset maybe, although Rain's still going to stay in there and find the kill on Zenyatta. So Sinclair, I think maybe they are going to take this quick little reset. They pushed the point damn near to completion on essentially, like, the point didn't stop moving the entire time in the payload. So if you're Sinclair, you love how you started this game. Just got to retool, maybe wait for that second wave of ultimates and try to make that final push. But Illinois got a couple ultimates online as well, so maybe going to try to hold back Sinclair. But honestly, one more really strong team fight for Sinclair, and this game could be in the books.
For sure, yeah. And Sinclair, they had some really nice momentum there. And a big thing to note is that they did actually manage to force out the Transcendence there. So now Hyun, when he gets this Flux online, he's going to be able to use it almost for free. Illinois uses the Flux as well, but it finds no one by the looks of it. Sinclair, they're going to be sitting pretty there in that small room. They're going to start pushing out here, seeing if they can spam down the shields. The Sigma from Illinois might be caught out here. Oh, some nice shots from Emran are able to find the Zenyatta. He shoots the Dragon into the side. The Sigma from Illinois is a bit isolated here. He goes very low. Crime does manage to take him out. Crime with 2 picks here now. Now we see Squeak pushing forward, putting in tons of shots here into the DPS from the side of Illinois. The Orisa, Flummox, he's gonna have to just push way back and killed. He had no chance to touch Cart there, and some beautiful stuff from St. Clair.
Yeah, fantastic work. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Emran and 1 or 2 other members had 0 deaths that entire round, because the Saints only really had 1 full team reset, and I think 3 players were still alive. It was more of just like, okay, we're going to concede this fight to you guys finally at the end of P3. We're just going to step back here, reassess, we're going to retool, and when the Saints coordinated those team fights and went in and timed that utility, they pretty much just walked through IU. So if you're Illinois, you got to try to find some way to either like get some disengage or adjust. And I think Illinois, maybe St. Clair, whether it was bait or whether it was maybe mistimed, some of those ultimates of Illinois got virtually 0 value. And when you're on P3 with only like 10 meters to push, you cannot afford to lose even 1 ultimate.
Yeah, unfortunately, Illinois' ults, they just didn't end up finding the utility they needed, especially like that Flux there. I'm sure that was like a very big thing that Illinois was hoping to use in order to stop St. Clair in their tracks. But St. Clair, they had some great positioning there where they were taking that long rotation through the room. And so the Flux ended up finding nobody, and even if it had found somebody, everyone would have been pretty much in cover, so follow-up would have been very difficult. So you could see St. Clair, they knew exactly what Illinois was playing for, and they knew exactly how to outplay it. So that was really well played from them. And then once those ultimates kind of were taken out of the equation, St. Clair just ended up playing better in the neutral. The DPS hit more shots, and St. Clair, they ended up taking that 3rd point. And on a map like Rialto, that 3rd point is really hard to cap. It's very defender favored. So capping it like that it's no small feat, and St. Clair, they're probably feeling really happy about that right now.
Yeah, I don't think from the attacking side you really could have played that any better from the side of the Saints. They kind of just walk through and getting immediate pick, but Redux is going to get the finish, but Crime, I think he's going to get a headshot there at least on the Orisa.
Crime actually did get that headshot, and then Redux was there to finish it off. So that tank actually just got deleted. 400 HP just taken off the field in less than a second.
Yeah, one of your shields down too on the beginning, which definitely we've seen not easy to come back from. They are going to get a little bit of push here, but once again,
Crime with another
once
pick.
again, just the DPS today putting in absolute work. Emran and Crime just headshots back and forth on the Hanzo and the Widow. Just 2 fantastic picks on this early Rialto, and they are making the most of it so far.
Yeah, and you know, we saw Crime on the Widowmaker for a little bit yesterday. He was only on it for about 30 seconds yesterday, but in that 30 seconds, he found 4 picks back to back. So we know that Crime can aim on the Widowmaker. He's already at 70% ult charge. He's putting in huge work right now.
Yeah, the ult charge is actually a very, very telling. The DPS ult charge, the difference is just massive between the Saints and the side of Illinois so far. So if you're the Saints, you have to be loving the start. You say you're going to concede some of the space of P1. You know, you're gonna take back 1 or 2 of these team fights. You're Gonna try to find some damage in there. He'll be backed up by the Orisa. A lot of members of Illinois gonna try to take this the top part of the building for building control. Prime once again gonna take out Ash. Second time this game already with a headshot. And now once again, Illinois gonna be down to DPS. Emran does have the Dragons online if he so chooses. We'll pop them as well. Great job to disperse the team, Illinois amongst the building, but so far Illinois getting a little bit of progress, but St. Clair doing tons of damage on the backside.
Yeah, Crime actually ended up taking an angle behind them there. He kind of went toward their spawn a little bit, flanked around, and then managed to find a pick onto the Ash. Crime finds another pick with the assistance of the Discord Orb from Redx there. Now we see the Flux coming out, and this is going to be another easy kill there coming out from Emran. The snipers from St. Clair are doing so well right now in terms of the angles they're controlling, the sight lines they're controlling, the pressure they're putting down. Illinois just can't really do anything. Like, the one time they were kind of able to start finding success, finally Crime is taken out by Hero. Hero managing to win that Widowmaker duel. But, you know, Illinois, they had to take this long rotation in order to get up the high ground, avoiding all the sight lines. And then Crime ended up just taking a big rotation and finding sight lines anyway. So even with Crime being down out, this is going to be Illinois' chance. You know, one of the snipers is down. They finally have a little bit of that pressure relieved. This is going to be where they want to make their push.
Yeah, they're pretty close to the Transcend. They got to say a couple ultimates on it. We'll help them with it. Emran once again going to find the headshot. Hero going to do a little Widow on Widow Crime once again. Going to drop Crime. No
but Emran is right there to pick up the
second
slack.
One for the cleanup. Great job there to follow up. And now Squeak going to find the kill on Flumax as well. And St. Clair just dropping him. Emran continuing the warpath. Going to find his fourth of the fight. Only 2 members of Illinois remain, one being the Widow. She is not going to push up. And Emran almost single-handedly shoving back Illinois to P1 here. And those Dragons right back online for him, second time already.
This is what's amazing to see. Like, you have Crime, who's being such a huge threat on the Widowmaker, so you focus him, you take him out, but then you still have Emran to deal with. And when he's finding shots like that, and when he's putting in so much damage with these Storm Arrows, like, it's so hard to counter that. Now we see the Transcendence forced from nothing but a pull. That Transcendence is going to be almost completely wasted from Illinois. Now St. Clair have the Dragons, they have the window used, and St. Clair, they're doing very nice to clean up this fight now. Hero and Andrew both able to take out one of the DPS from St. Clair, so maybe Illinois are going to have a chance to push in quick here with that respawn advantage, but St. Clair, they're still sitting strong. They have both tank ults online, and you can see Illinois, they're just biding their time. Now we see the Supercharger coming out from Squeak. He's going to be just pressuring them back, and Illinois, they're all forced back into hiding. Hanzo on this bridge here, he might get caught out. Pull doesn't quite hit him. Andrew actually manages to take out Redx. This could be a good opening for Illinois.
Yeah, I think you made such a good point. Crime caught so much attention that Emran, basically, they're playing this like a two-man game, top side and bottom side, whether both snipers are going young. Gonna find the kill. Rain gonna find it as well, so 3 members of Illinois are gonna go down in this team fight. A couple more on low HP. Fourth gonna fall. A fifth as well. Could be a team ace almost for St. Clair, but Hero gonna run away on that backline, try to grapple out of there and escape with his life. But once again, Hero, it's great that he's landed these shots and got some counter, like on the offensive end, he's got some counterplay, but when all your team dies, Widowmaker doesn't really give you any ounce of value in the backline, and just like that, St. Clair gonna completely nullify Illinois' offense and shut them down before they even finish P1.
Yeah, that's gonna be a massive full hold. Illinois barely able to make it even halfway to the first checkpoint there, and you really got to give such a huge shout out to Crime and Emran. They were doing absolutely incredible. Like, if one of them wasn't popping off, the other was, right? They were just going back and forth, finding all the picks in the world. And obviously, the rest of St. Clair are playing amazing as well. You know, they're creating so many opportunities for these players to find the picks, right? Like, especially on the back of like the Orisa pulls and stuff. Like, we saw a few pull dragon combos, and unfortunately, like, we kind of saw that iffy Transcendence from side of Illinois. It didn't quite find any value. I think they were predicting the pull dragon, and that's why we saw that Transcendence forced. But unfortunately, the dragon didn't come out there. So then, once the Transcendence wore out, we saw another pull come out, and that's the one that ended up hitting the dragon, and Illinois were just kind of deleted from that.
Yeah, I think you got to give the Saints a ton of credit for that too, because you could tell once the Saints had that crazy start on offense, and they were just finding picks left and right, and they were pretty much creating space wherever they wanted to. Illinois was playing pretty much reactionary at that point. They were expecting, like, this ulti's going to come, like, as you said, they're trying to predict the pulls and the hooks and the spikes coming. They're trying to predict all these ultimates coming online, and when you do that, it can work sometimes if you guess properly, but if you end up guessing wrong and the Saints are playing a little patient, just like, no, we're going to try to bait out your utility, end up looking a little bit silly with your hands in the air. And I think we saw the gravity flux on the end of the first half, just trying to stop the Saints early because of you don't want to let them into the last building how much they've been pushing, but you would have probably guaranteed 3 to 4 players and maybe got a few kills, but say just a little bit early on some of these ults, but just the DPS and the team play from St. Clair. I can't really blame Illinois for playing as they did, but St. Clair, just those ulties and the timing, the arrows and the sniper.
You do got to give a bit of credit to Illinois. Like we saw eventually Hero did make that swap to the Widowmaker. He just wanted to take that 1v1. And in all fairness, he actually did find Crime a few times. He was doing a good job, but you know, then you still had Emran to deal with. You still had to get through that amazing front line of Squeak and Hyun. And you know, St. Clair, they were kind of just like on an unbreakable wall there. Like I'm pretty sure the tanks didn't even die a single time on that defense there, right? So very nice stuff from them. But now we are, of course, going into Nepal here, going to Sanctum as our first point. And St. Clair, they are not running their double main tank composition this time. Thank goodness. They are opting for something a little bit more traditional, a little bit easier to understand. It's going to be a rush comp here with the Reinhardt, D.Va, Bap Lucio, and then we have a Genji Reaper. The Genji Reaper is a little bit interesting, but still, overall, I like this comp much more. Illinois, however, they're going to be opting for a very heavy shield bursting comp between that Junkrat and the Symmetra. And you can see St. Clair, they're respecting it. They don't want to push into all that spam damage, so they're going to play a little bit safe and look for an opportunity to engage here.
Yeah, and Crime going to play that short corner with the Reaper, just try to hop out and blast people in the back of the head with those dual shotguns, just try to get something going. Really good back and forth here at the first doorway. Illinois going to try to go to the left side there and try to make a push. Going to be falling behind that Reinhardt hammer, full strength. D.Va going to try to get some shots.
Oh, Squeak is charging straight in.
Yeah, Saints going to try to take the point back, going to run at them. Squeak and Crime both going to find. Crime's going to find 2, dropping 2 members of Illinois. Saints look like they are going to end up taking this fight, and they should be able to gain control of the point here. A couple members. Redx going to get the boop onto Flashfall, or Flashfall going to send him off the map. Emran going to find 2 on the Genji, and all of a sudden, the Saints just take it to Illinois and take the point in the process.
Yeah, Squeak went for a really risky play there. You know, using that charge in a position like that, a counter charge or a stun would have kind of like ended his day right there. But fortunately, Illinois, they weren't ready for it at all, so it ended up finding huge value. He took the Reinhardt almost off the map, right out of the lamp, and it was just an insta-kill from there. St. Clair, they just pushed W, and they were able to clean up without any issues. But now Illinois, they're going on a very long rotation. We can see the sides of the map have almost completely changed now. Windows coming up from both sides, but it's going to be St. Clair with the better window angle. Redx is able to find a pick onto Funman. Using that Lucio, he's shooting through the window, actually does a ton of damage. Now Emran is able to take out the Reinhardt as well as the Reaper. Hyun is able to take out Andrew, and Squeak did unfortunately get booped off the map there, but that's alright because Rain was able to clean up the Lucio, got a little bit of revenge there. Beautiful stuff from St. Clair. And a huge thing to mention is that they only had to use 2 ults for that. They only had to use the window, which of course is incredibly fast charging, and the Genji Blade.
Yeah, and I think Hero, unless he switched off, oh no, yeah, he would have switched off, say, wouldn't you have got the Death Blossom yet, but say, yeah, 1 ultimate being able to hold, and you'll take a 4 for, even if your tank goes down, you'll take that 4-for-1 trade every single day of the week, say, especially Squeak running in there. Dunk Tire is going to come in, try to find
it's a huge
find 3,
tire.
It's a massive Junk Tire. Flash Fatal's going to find a 4th. Illinois finally going to break through possibly on St. Clair and get some point pressure. Hero is going to find the kill with the dually shotguns as well. Hyun gonna remac, gonna be immediately demacked once again. Try to find anything. Hero is gonna take him out, so Illinois investing, not investing too much into that fight, but getting incredible results from it.
Yeah, no, that 1 tire was all they needed to lock down that fight. Redx actually used that beat there, but I think it got Ajaxed. I think it got interrupted by the tire. It just wasn't quite quick enough. Unfortunately, the lamp wasn't there either. St. Clair, I don't think they were expecting that tire, and Illinois, they made the most of it. They found some huge value from it. And now, Illinois is actually kind of looking to be on top here with the ult economy. We see the window coming out, and Snobus, he does have that beat online for, the Death Blossom ends up finding nothing. And now Illinois, they use the beat, they go through, huge damage coming out from the side of Illinois. Using that beat, they just press W, they walk straight in. They're finding all the picks they need right now. And now they're staggering Hyun. This is very unfortunate.
And the Junk Tire already back online for the side of Illinois, so immediately, I think he got 3 to 4 kills, and say, great job there to stagger Hyun out as well. So St. Clair have to get a full reset. We're going to be about tied by the time St. Clair actually gets back to fight this. And I actually like how close up Illinois is playing, and they have to. This Junk Tire could be absolutely. It could be critical.
Absolutely massive. Yeah, Rain. It's going to be on him to be ready with that immortality field in order to block it. The tire comes out from behind, and unfortunately finds a pick again. It actually destroyed the immortality field as well. So unfortunately, Squeak just wasn't quite in it, and with that, Illinois, they're just going to be pressing W. They're going to force St. Clair back to the spawn. And you know, the tire only found 1 pick, but in a position like this, all you need is that 1 pick, right? Like when you're playing that brawl comp, if you're taking a 5v6, you have such a huge disadvantage that it's not even worth it. You just got to back out, wait, and you go again.
And you're able to keep the Shatter, the D.Va Bomb, and the Death Blossom all in your back pocket in the process. So 1 Junk Tire, able to neutralize some utility from St. Clair, find that huge pick on the main tank as well. Now Shatter is going to be online for Formax if he wants to use it.
Oh, it does find Squeak.
Yeah, Genji is going to find him. Torvald stuck in the corner. Going to be a Reinhardt duel. Going to find a couple kills there. St. Clair going to be on the better end of this so far. Crime going to go back and forth with Hero, trading a couple kills. Going to be a team kill for the side of the Saints, though. Illinois now going to be a little bit of a delayed respawn in Saints. Not a moment too soon. That got to 98% for the side of Illinois. St. Clair did not have a lot of time to play with.
Yeah, St. Clair, they did have to use quite a few ults in order to get through that, but fortunately, they were able to come out on top at the end of it. They were able to kind of negate the Shatter, even though it did find Squeak, some nice immortality field, came out from Argent, keep him alive, make sure that no damage or no value was really found from that. And now Squeak is going to be coming in here with the Shatter, Tyre from behind. The Shatter is huge! Finds 3 people. He cleans up, finds 2 picks. Funman is able to take out Red X with the Tyre, but it's not even going to matter. Emran, Crime, Squeak, all cleaning up here on the point. Funman's going to try and get out, but Emran chases him down, takes him out with a quick dash. It's going to be a team kill for St. Clair. And Illinois, they're not even going to be able to touch. That's the point.
Back-to-back team kills. Illinois looked almost flawlessly in the middle part of that game, and immediately St. Clair just puts the jets on, put the screws to him, double team kill back-to-back, and just like that, Saints flip all the momentum. Illinois St. Clair controlled the first part of that game. Illinois stormed back, took full control. You saw the confidence. They were playing really close corners, using those junk tires effectively, and all of a sudden St. Clair just puts the foot down and says no more, and they immediately shove back, double team killing. Now, just like that, they're able to take the round.
Absolutely, yeah. And, you know, big shout out to Squeak there. He hit a massive shatter in that final fight. He put 3 people down on the ground, and the follow-up, it was definitely there. So many people got taken low from that, and he was able to clean up some people. And, you know, we saw the junk tire come out, but it only found 1 person. And even though, like we talked about, sometimes finding 1 person is enough, when you've got 3 down on your own team, you're going to need to do a little bit more than that. And St. Clair, they were able to come out on top. But now we see here on Nepal Village, we see kind of 2 very opposing comp styles. We see a long-range kind of spam style, a pick style, using that ball, the tracer, and the echo, where St. Clair, they've opted for this more close-range bunker style, where they're going to be playing to just completely control the point. They're going to look to set up the turrets. Anyone who gets close, they're going to try and burst them down. That's why you're running this Cassidy. That's why you're running the Symmetra. Now we see an immortality field forced out. Ooh, a nice pick from Hero, using that Discord orb to take out Rain. The lack of Baptiste here from Saints could make this very hard for them to cap, but they do actually trade out. They find a pick onto Funman. However, with both supports still on the line for Illinois, they might be able to take this slow, find some picks, and that's exactly what we see happening. Flummox is able to take out Crime, and now they can just play this distance, start putting down lots of damage, and that's exactly what's happening. Andrew is able to find a pick, Hero cleans up, Flummox starts walking forward, finds another pick. Really nice stuff there from Illinois. We can see, like, the Baptiste is such a critical part of a Brawl comp.
Yeah.
Once you lose that Baptiste, Lucio heals are not enough to counter all the damage that's going to be coming in from Andrew, from Flummox, from, like, that ball tracer poke. Yeah. It's very, very hard to do. So once that Bap went down, you could see Illinois, they knew all they had to do was start spamming them out, and they would be able to get control of that point.
Yeah, Hero did such a good job already getting that ultimate charge. He was just playing that backline, just consistent poke. No one ever could really catch his attention. Oh, gonna walk in and get immediately killed by Crime, gonna shut him down right away. Now the ball gonna pop the ulti, try to send those mines out there to do anything, but gonna get shot down as well by HUE, and now Crime is gonna fall to Funman. Saints still have the man advantage on the point, or still for the time being at least, to do a point control. They are gonna move past 25% here. Now Emran gonna hit the TP, try to find something on this front line here. Saints are gonna try to get a shove here. They have Shatter online if they do please Illinois, that being Red X gonna pop the ultimate as well. Just huge back and forth fight here. No team seemingly gaining any ground yet, but St. Clair just trying to cling to this point desperately.
Nice fire strike there from Funman, sniping him as he went for that health pack there on the coast. And what we saw right there is kind of exactly what St. Clair is hoping to do. Like, Hero wanted to go in on that tracer, but he got a little bit too close. He flew too close to the sun, got picked off immediately with the Cassidy shot and that Symmetra turret damage, slowing him down. And then we saw Flash Fatal going in, try to use those Wrecking Ball mines in order to find something, but he got stunned, he got shredded. Yep. Beautiful focus fire from Saints. That's what's playing to this comp's strength, right? Yep. If anyone who gets close, they just get deleted. Now we see another engage. We see the Deadeye coming out here from Saints. Lots of people caught out in the open, but no one is found. It does force out the Transcendence, though. However, Funman is going to be using the copy onto the Reinhardt here. Ooh, but Crime with another nice pick onto Hero. We see the Symmetra wall coming out from the side of St. Clair. They're staying very strong on point. Funman can't even push in with this copy. Yeah. He's going to have to back out. That Sim wall doing so much.
Yeah, and taking the Reinhardt copy is definitely not the worst idea, considering you get the shield and you get huge health, but he literally had 0 teammates backing him, so that's almost the worst place for Reinhardt to be, is in front of 5 players with the shield going down, and you're like, I'm literally out of options here, and you don't have the mobility to get away. You have the one-directional charge, which cannot cancel yet in Overwatch 1, so once you commit to that charge, you are all the way in. Hyun is going to send the Diva Bomb out, try to find anything, not going to get any value, but maybe able to displace Illinois just a little bit. Saints are at 99%, so one more team fight here. They may be able to shut this thing down. Hyun going to find the kill on Flash Fatal, Andrew was going to take out Crime in the process. Trades going back and forth. Tracer Bomb is online. We'll be able to find anything. HUE is going to find a double, though, so Tracer Bomb might be a little bit too late. HUE will get demech though. Say a lot of damage back and forth, but the Saints slowly but surely whittling away Illinois here. Gravity Slam or Gravity Flux is going to come through, trying to knock out multiple members of the Saints. Emran going to try to set something up as well. Just a lot of ultis back and forth, and St. Clair eventually going to be able to hold the point and take this one, but really crazy skirmish at the end of the game. That just
it was
infinite abilities being used with the Saints. They find a way. Cheers
Illinois eventually not being able to touch there, and you know, it's kind of like we said, that's exactly what happens when you have that brawl comp, right? Now this is probably going to be that 3-man tire that we saw. Yeah, we see him push forward, hides around the corner, tire comes out. And yeah, it actually did cancel the beat there. Very unfortunate Ajax moment from Red X.
Even went through too with that tire. The shatter went through almost after I think he was killed. So maybe
it did. Yeah, it's an interesting mechanic of shatter. Shatter actually kind of like extends as a wave out from Reinhardt's epicenter. Yeah. So there are moments like that where he can technically die while the shatter effect still comes out if it's already landed on the ground, and that's what we saw there. But you know, when you get a 3-man tire, even if the shatter does come out, it's not going to do too much, right? But despite that huge tire, St. Clair with a clean performance there. They wrapped it up. First series going 2-0 the way of them. We are going to be having a repeat of what we just saw. We'll see if it goes maybe like last night where Illinois, we'll see if they can learn from their mistakes, adapt, maybe come back and look a bit stronger. St. Clair, of course, after the performance like that, they're probably feeling really happy. So just make sure that they don't get a bit overconfident or anything. Just keep playing smart. And yeah, hopefully we'll have a good match.
Yeah, stay the course is right. We are going to give the players 5 minutes. We're going to take 5 minutes as well. Just throw it to a quick little break here, get the players to reset, a little bit of water, take a quick break, and we'll be back soon with another series of Overwatch action in HUE 22. Welcome back from our quick little break of some HUE 22 Overwatch action. We just saw the Saints take their first best of 3 against Illinois Wesleyan University, 2-0, and looked very, very strong in both games. We saw, their offense on Rialto, I think, was the most surprising thing. We usually never see a team, not cakewalk, but have such an easy time. And what was the biggest takeaway from the whole series in general, but especially like that first map where they showed pretty big dominance?
I mean, just the fact that they got a full cap on Rialto, it's like I said, that's super rare in and of itself. So you can see that Saints, they're firing on all cylinders. And I think it'd be, you could say it'd be a crime if we didn't mention it.
Yeah, his name is, there's too many ideas, man.
The amazing performance from the double snipers that we saw there on Rialto. Like, when they're playing like that, if you're Illinois, things have got to feel a bit hopeless. Like, what do you do when you're playing against characters who can one-shot and they're hitting all their shots, right?
Yeah, especially if I know, I was playing a tank a lot when I play. If I walked out of spawn as Orisa and got one-tapped, I would honestly I'd almost be ready to throw the entire game at that point, even knowing that we have literally the rest of the game to play. Just when you literally, it felt like so many times the Saints would just, Illinois wouldn't even have a chance on that first map. They would just get shut down. Like, it would just be like, 2 picks are here, now it's 6v4. Well, now you have to play for reset because you're missing a DPS and a tank already, so you can't. What push are you going to make now trying to flank on the high ground? And Illinois, they tried to use some flanks and get some high ground, but we saw great work, say more out of the DPS Emeren, using those dragons to split up that top ground pressure, make it into 2 separate 2v2s where you might have an ulti advantage, you might have a little bit of like space advantage, and say that I think the DPS, as you're right, was definitely the story of the first series. We just saw such, like, Illinois couldn't get off the front line. Like, they just, and when you can't do that, everything's going to look good for you.
Absolutely, yeah, and we'll see if it's something that's going to be repeated here. Right away, we are seeing Illinois, they're going to be changing it up a bit from what we can see. We'll see if they stick with this comp or not, but given that they are on defense, they're already walking to a spawn, it does seem like they're going to be committing to this. So on the defense, first game, of course, we saw a double shield coming out, and now, while we do still have technically a double shield, it's going to be in a very different style. They're going to be playing that Reinhardt as well as the Junkrat. So that says to me, Illinois, they're going to be wanting to play a lot closer here. And my guess is that they've had enough of this whole long-range battle. They want to take it face-to-face, fight it out, like, just completely bare knuckle it, right?
Just stand and bang, yeah. I gotcha. And I say, especially when you run a Brigida too, you're pretty much saying like, we're trying to get in your face and we're gonna try to punch you and see what you got for us. So I don't hate the idea of Illinois because the long range battle, they were clearly, maybe they wouldn't be outmatched this series, but they were very clearly outmatched last series. So it's a very, very like almost easy adjustment to make. Obviously, we'll have to see if it pays off, but I think it's at least a really good adaptation for Illinois to start.
For sure, yeah. The big thing from Illinois here is they're going to want to make sure that their positioning is on point, because if Emeren and Crime are able to find opening picks, that brawl setup is going to be very hard to do. And Crime, he's already on a back angle here. He's in the alley. The nice Sonic Arrow is there. Emeren finds the first pick onto Hero. Right away, one of the DPS from Illinois are down. Crime is still there. He's putting on so much pressure. Like, you can see, he's controlling Illinois. These 2 snipers are controlling Illinois' positioning so heavily right now. They can't back into courtyard. They can't push forward. They have to kind of hug this wall and just back forward slowly. But, Saints, they're just going to go straight in. They're going to start looking for picks. Jan walks in, Squeak charges in. Emeren is able to follow up, and everyone on Saints is lighting up the kill feed right now. Beautiful stuff from them. Illinois, there's nothing they can do. They're just running away now.
And how do you break up the brawl comp with your double DPS, both on snipers? You put one sniper as far away as possible, so even if he's not landing all of his shots, which I don't think he had landed any headshots yet, 5 members of Illinois were aware that he was there once that first shot went by, and you could tell they were starting to put the focus on, and then Emeren able to just walk up, get the storm arrows going, get the hail of arrows, and just start laying into Illinois. And once again, now Flummox's gonna get knocked off the map, and 4 members of Illinois are gonna fall, just leaving Flash Fatal all alone, and he's gonna be back in the spawn changing character. So once again, St. Clair gonna walk this one up. Gonna be about halfway to P2, but they do have a little bit of building control as well, which is huge, especially having the main tank with the support in there. St. Clair already has, and getting that building control is pretty much the biggest part of P2 here.
For sure, yeah. And we actually see something interesting here from the side of Illinois. We see that Flash Metal has swapped over to the Wrecking Ball, but Flummox has actually swapped to the Sigma.
Yeah.
So we have 2 players here from the side of Illinois on that Sigma role, which is a bit interesting, not something you see very often. Maybe it implies a bit of a lack of comfortableness on that Sigma, but now Crime, he's looking like he's trying to get a back angle here. Ooh, a nice pick from Hero is going to take out that Zenyatta, which could be the opening Illinois needs to finally stabilize this. We see Funman chase down Hyun using that focusing beam from the Echo. Echo is such a great character at finishing off these kills, and Funman actually takes himself out. He trades for Emeren there with the sticky bombs. The res comes out from Snowbiss. Illinois, they're looking very good right now. They are able to find the picks they need. They're finally able to stabilize, and now St. Clair, they're faced with the always monumental task of crossing this bridge.
Yeah, once you lose building control and then you have to recross the bridge, this becomes one of the harder points in the entire game to try to take, and Illinois did such a good job there of almost like pulling at St. Clair, and St. Clair, they're able to, I think they baited out Hyun's like gravity flux basically on a solo ult, and they just able to, they're like, oh, we'll just give you some heal.
Yeah.
So able to just bait those ultis out of St. Clair, try to create those advantages. Now when they do cross the bridge, maybe you can get a little bit of ult advantage, or you can at least try to hold the building longer, because St. Clair pretty much walked into the building, but Illinois, say, great job there to stop the building control, unlike the first time.
Yeah. However, we do see St. Clair, they were actually able to cross without problems.
Yeah.
Illinois didn't quite pay enough attention. They didn't engage while St. Clair was crossing, and now St. Clair was able to take that bridge for free. Ooh, a nice boop comes out, knocks Redex away from that hallway onto the ground, and actually forces the trance just so he can get back to his team. Really nice stuff there from Flash Fatal. Getting huge value, even if he didn't find that kill. Forcing that ult is going to be really, really huge. And now Hero is able to find Squeak. We actually see Crime swapped off the Widow. He's going to be trying to take the Tracer duel. Redex is able to take out Flummox. Both teams in a 5v5 right now. St. Clair, they're looking like they still want to try and push this. Rain is going to have that window coming online. We'll see if he uses it. So many people trying to engage onto Emran right now. They're not even going to be able to find him. Hyun is able to take out Flash Fatal, and Crime takes out Funman with a Pulse Bomb. Now the Dragon's coming out there from Emran, and they are going to find a pick onto Hero. Crime is going to be pushing forward. Rain actually ends up finding the pick onto Funman. St. Clair, they're walking forward now. They're cleaning up. Only 3 people left. Make that 4 as Flash Fatal comes back now. But Illinois, they are on the back foot. St. Clair pushing forward. Yeah, Flash Fatal tried to run in, but just gets taken out immediately by Hyun with the help of that Discord Orb. Nothing they could do. St. Clair, they're running a completely different comp this time around, and they're still looking great.
Yeah, it's a completely different comp and almost exactly the same result, having one kind of stall out in between P2 and P3. It's kind of losing a fight. Illinois had some really good ultimates. St. Clair drops the fight. Great job there by Andrew to get the kill on Crime. They're able to shut down the DPS of St. Clair. Now Funman is going to pop, going to turn into Sigma, going to pull the Gravity Flux is going to come through, I believe, as well. A couple kills are going to come through. Illinois going to find a couple of the Saints. Going to have to force a reset here. A couple members are going to have to back off here. They are going to get wiped out. Redex is going to find one on the way out, though. So now Illinois, once again, just doing a really, really good job between 2 and 3. They're able to get that hold, but now St. Clair, they're going to storm back with a handful of ultimates.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? If you're St. Clair, I don't think you're upset about losing that fight at all, because Illinois, they had to use 3 ults to win a fight where they had already found the opening pick. They took out Crime, so they already had a bit of an advantage, and they still invested 3 ults. Our Funman is actually able to take out Redex there as they're trying to cross. You know, that echo damage is just is so ridiculous if you're hitting those sticky bombs, right? But, you know, St. Clair, they do still have all those ults online. I'm sure they're not upset at all about the fact that they lost a fight where they didn't even have to invest in ult. So now they're going to be pushing in. They have a huge advantage here. You really only have the Mines and the Valkyrie to worry about, but Emran is going to take out Hero with a nice pick there from the Hanzo, finds a headshot. Now Hyun pushes in, uses that Flux, lifts up a couple people, slams them down, doesn't quite find a pick, but deals some significant damage to force out the Flux there from Illinois. Now, Crime, we see him marking that Tracer. He's looking for her in the back line. Emran is actually able to take out Flummox with the Dragons. Emran finds another pick onto Hero. He is just finding all kinds of picks. We see the Zenyatta from Illinois is on a bit of a flank, but isn't able to find anything. Crime cleans up, finds 2 more picks. Once again, Emran and Crime doing so well on these Vipers. Well, Crime's actually on the Cassidy now, but he's still putting out a great performance. You can see just his mere presence is enough to make it so that Hero cannot engage freely, and Hero is having to play slowly. That enables Emran to find so much damage with the Hanzo, and now St. Clair, they're getting it past this choke point, and Illinois, they're going to have to start staggering out here in order to contest the point. The ball comes out, immediately gets flashed, takes a ton of damage. Funman is taken out. Redex with 2 picks. Hyun finds a third onto the Baptiste. Now, Flash Fatal is going to be rolling around the point, but immediately gets taken out by Hyun. And yeah, Illinois are not able to get bodies on the point. St. Clair with another full cap.
Wow. Once again, just the Saints put the pressure on them. That last minute and a half, say the Saints, that's the one good thing about losing that team fight between P2 and P3. You don't have to rush another fight. When you have 2:45 to 3 minutes on the clock, you can literally you got 4 to 5 team fights if you set up and time it out properly. And the Saints just, hey, we kind of got steamrolled on the 1 team fight. They did burn a lot of ultimates, did Illinois. I think St. Clair maybe only used 1 to get the 3 out. So they trade 3 for 1 ultis. They get that full reset. Dragons come through, find the pick. Emran, once again, just, he's always so good to find that entry frag. And then the Saints, once they get that pick, they just absolutely like to send it. And Emran just doing such a good job getting that elimination, especially doing a great job taking out either one of the DPS, which is giving them grief, or taking out a support, which basically just breaks the entire backline of Illinois. And St. Clair just, once again, just almost a flawless job. Say, besides 1 or 2 hiccups there, pretty much flawlessly walked the payload down.
Yeah, M and Crime are just like if this is the level we can expect them to play at this season, I think we're in for a very, very enjoyable time.
A lot of Twitter highlights.
Absolutely, yeah. These guys as a duo are looking incredible. Like the synergy they have, you see them, they're always controlling angles. They're never like stepping on each other's toes, really. These guys are playing absolutely great right now, and the rest of the team, like they're doing so well too in order to like make sure that they can do that. Like you can see, like on that last fight, Crime, he was just kind of like marking at the Tracer, looking at the back line, because he knew that his front line was in good hands with that BAP and that Orisa Sigma front line, right? So it just, every team, like every member on the team right now is playing so well. They're all doing their jobs exactly as you would want them to. And now we see Illinois are going to be running a Sombra Tracer dive comp here with that ball. So the Sombra already setting up behind, seeing if he can find a hack, probably to engage on. Oh, he's actually going to see if he can maybe find that Torb. He's walking toward him right now, and the ball looking like he's trying to get set up, and we see a Funman uncloaks. Ooh. But, you know, Emran, he's hitting some shots, actually forces the Sombra to translocate right out, and so the ball isn't going to be able to follow up. Sombra is going to have to get out of there, and now St. Clair, they're able to sit and control this angles.
Yeah, going to see Emran on the Torbjorn now, so I think they're trying to adjust to this more like brawl and dive style of Illinois. They're trying a little more like area of control. Great job there by Emran to find another pick. Crime going to be there with a couple shots landed as well, and just, yeah, they're going to maybe try to counter this dive comp a little bit, have a little area of effect. They have the gravity flux, they have the Torbjorn ulti, they have the Orisa. Everything is kind of like built for close quarters, like demolition and like scrapping, and I actually really like that from St. Clair. But Illinois so far got a couple picks so far, but St. Clair doing a really good job of just kind of stalemating this payload. They're able to find those 1-for-1 trades and kind of bait out some utility, so Illinois can't really put together those 2-3 kills and actually get some push. So just really good job by St. Clair, and both teams just trying to figure out how to counter each other's comp kind of right now.
And this is a really nice read from St. Clair, right? Like, they clearly predicted the fact that Illinois would be trying to run a more dive comp. If they were still on that double sniper, this would be very difficult for them, as the Tracer and Ball would be able to engage onto those heroes very easily. But when you're running the Ashe, when you're running the Torbjorn, first of all, that Torb turret, that locks onto anyone who tries to get out into that open space, especially for someone like Tracer, who is very squishy. It chunks so much health out. Now we see, and flank from Andrew actually gets a pick. A bit surprising there, but
I say I think the one thing is though, Andrew has been diving the backline a lot, even though as support we've seen him dive the backline was then 4 or 5 times. While it's a really cool play and it's aggressive, and he did get a pick. Going 1-for-1 isn't always the greatest thing, especially if your team isn't like is kind of struggling in team fights and skirmishes. And now St. Clair going to have a couple ultimates online, but say Illinois definitely trying everything right now. They're trying the aggressive comps, they're trying these backline flanks, trying the dive comp, and so far St. Clair answering up to the call.
Yeah, and you can see Hero tried to go in there, but Rain ended up just like picking him off with that burst fire. And like every time Illinois tries to go in, the turret forces people out. Crime, even if he's not finding picks, he's able to hit these headshots, he's able to get them low, and that forces them back out again. Like this comp, they don't even need to find the picks. All they need to do is make it so that Illinois is too low to actually engage properly, and that's exactly what's happening. Now we see Hyun using their good flux here, and Flummox actually gets taken out by the Torb turret. Echo is able, is able to stay alive, but Hyun hits some mid-air shots to take him out. Andrew did actually take out Redix though, but Hero somehow died. I think he might have died to his own pulse bomb. No, I'm not sure. He might have fallen off the map. Not sure what happened there. Andrew finds another pick though, and Flash Fatal engages onto that, uses the mines, is able to take out Rain. Now there's no Baptiste from the side of St. Clair. This could be Illinois' chance to go in. Funman is able to take out Squeak. Emran did take out Andrew. But fortunately, Illinois, finally, they have some point control here. They're starting to make some progress. Emran, in a bit of a 1v1 with the Mercy, stays alive with 6 HP and finds Funman with the Torbolt. St. Clair, despite the fact that Illinois looked like they finally had an advantage, St. Clair, they held steady and they were able to turn it around.
I was convinced Illinois was going to start walking that payload, and don't look now, but 37 seconds and they are yet to cross over P1 and get that time extension. So they have maybe 2 more good attempts, although I would say it's probably closer to 1 because the payload is actively moving backwards because no members of Illinois able to get there. Flash Fatal going to be trying to get this backline, and say we've seen so many, like the one thing with Illinois, they're trying to get a lot of these flanks in this backline, but if you send 2 players to get that flank and play that backline and it ends up failing, then your front line is going to be completely tattered. And so far St. Clair taking full advantage now, only 13 seconds left. A couple ultimates to play for Illinois though, and they're going to have to combo a lot of these together, and they're going to have to get some value because they need to move.
And this is actually really good from Illinois. They were able to force out the Transcendence from Redux as well as the Bob from Crime. They didn't find any value, so now St. Clair, they have no ults online. Actually, they will have the window. Just came online, gets used quickly, and is actually able to take out Flash Fatal, but he's going for the res. Snowbus is able to find the res, but gets taken out in the process. Squeak with a nice pick there. And now Illinois, they're going to have to try and fight this back. They do have the Transcendence from Andrew coming out. It's going to give them the sustain they maybe need to stay alive, but Andrew was behind find them again. He has to run back to his team once again. Oh, a nice pick from Hero there. He's able to take out Red X. Illinois with the advantage right now, but as I say that, Crime and Squeak both find a pick onto Andrew and Hero respectively. Flash Fatal takes out Emran. Crime is still alive though. He's still doing damage. He's still finding picks. And it looks like there's no one to contest him. Crime finds yet another pick onto Flash Fatal. He is just having the time of his life right now. He's sitting far back. No one's even looking at him. He's shooting fish in a barrel. Yeah.
Like, no one, Crime has been on this backline for 35, 45 seconds minimum, and not even one head has turned to the right to acknowledge him. And St. Clair will gladly take that one. Just Illinois, whether it was just panicking because of the overtime, the fear of C9ing, or not sure what exactly, but Crime able to just sit on that backline in Illinois. It wasn't for lack of trying. They tried everything they could to try to get around St. Clair's comp, but St. Clair, as you said earlier, they had such a good read on every hero that was picked, every strategy that was being enabled, and Andrew, while playing great on that backline Zen, maybe we put him on a Tracer if he wants to play that much backline, because he found some success, but Zenyatta, like, you're going to get a lot of value, but how much value are you really going to get out of a consistent Zen backline dive?
Yeah, it's like, sure, he's getting the picks, but unfortunately, every time he gets a pick, he dies for it, right?
Yeah.
And all you end up doing is getting like a perfect 0.5 KD, which isn't really worth it, right?
Yeah.
So, end of the day, Saints with a great performance there. And, you know, on that final fight, Crime, he was just able to do so much. Like, you go into that overtime scenario, you have to have someone contesting cart, right? So Illinois, all they could really do was cower behind the cart, hoping that their heads didn't get taken off. And Crime, he's just sitting there throwing in dynamites. He's just like,
jump shots.
oh, you know, someone wants to come at me. Like the Tracer finally did come at him, but you know, he just booped him away with that coach gun and did some quick hip fire shots, and that was kind of that, right?
Yeah.
Saints just had it locked down.
And that's one thing I really, really like. The Saints, we saw a huge adjustment from their comp game 1 to game 2, and the good thing was it was mostly reactionary to what Illinois was doing. They didn't like try to get out of their game or get too cute. They're like, okay, they're running an all dive comp. We're going to run splash damage, area of effect, try to control each zone. And they just did it to perfection. And once again, when you have Crime pretty much active camoed off to the side of the card, just picking his shots, just able to get free jump shots, get that dynamite tick damage, get that ulti up, just St. Clair, just finding every single way to get it done right now and looking to close things out here now in Nepal.
Yeah. And you know, you really can't talk enough about like how well they read it. Like before the doors even opened, before they knew what Illinois was going to be coming out on, they already had a counter comp picked out, and it worked
almost
perfectly.
Yeah.
So if they do something like that over here on this map, it's going to be really tough for Illinois. Illinois, they might have to try and kind of outplay the outplay, so to speak.
I was going to say, if you're Illinois, what do you try to do now? You've tried almost not every comp, but you've kind of beat your head into the wall a couple times. St. Clair's pretty much had a read for you every time. What do you think might be like either the hero they might want to pick that either maybe try to flex something or try to create some space, or what do you think Illinois needs to do to just try to create any momentum in this series, because they're facing match point right now?
At this point, St. Clair have definitely shown that they're able to make these counter comps work, and they're able to kind of like get the outplays on them. So I think for Illinois, maybe you just try and mirror and beat them at their own game, you know, because we did see Hero, he was able to put up some good performances on the Widow, just like Crime was. So clearly they have the skill to kind of be competitive on the same heroes. We just need to see them make it work, and that is actually something similar to what's going to happen here. Illinois are going to be coming out on the Brawl comp this time, just like St. Clair is. However, there is a small difference. Funman is going to be on that Junkrat that we've seen him on before, whereas Crime is going to be on the Cassidy.
Crime's going to be on that hit scan the rest of his life, the way he's been shooting, and I do not blame St. Clair one, but just say put those guys on the hit scan DPS and let them go to work. So far, so good.
Yeah, Crime already taking a nice off angle here, loading in damage from behind. Illinois right now, they don't know where to look. He's hitting headshots. Like, look at this. He's loading in so much damage from this backline here. Like, Illinois, they don't have the health to go in right now when he's landing shots like this. He's already 70% to Deadeye. Fortunately, though, that does enable the window to come online very quickly from Illinois. When you're taking that much damage, there's a lot of damage to heal up, and Illinois makes the most of that. They get the window out, which is able to find them a few picks, but Crime takes out Flummox. Flash Fatal, though, on the point on that. Diva is able to take out Hyun, and now Illinois does control point. But Emran, he's very high charge right now. He's looking for picks. Andrew is able to take out Rain. Crime with another pick. Dude is just on fire right now. Finally gets taken out by Funman.
Yeah, great job. Say Crime, once again, just being an absolute menace on that backline. He seems to get 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 shots off before someone finally turns their head.
I would like to point out that Crime built Deadeye, used it, and is already 20% to another one.
Oh, yeah, so he hadn't switched off, so he immediately popped the Deadeye trying to find some information and some value as well. And now we're going to see Illinois does still have point control. St. Clair is trying to fight back for it. They're going to try to dive on the mid here. Hyun is going to try to get on here. They are going to full send it. Diva Bomb is going to come through. Will it find anything? Going to find one and take out Flummox, so main tank down. Now St. Clair should be able to get the space they need to create get the point here. Hyun is to find another kill on Funman as well, and the Shatter is going to be online for Squeak. Going to get a huge damage with that hammer as first, and just St. Clair massacring Illinois on the point, and they will capture it and start to take
Yeah,
points.
that was actually beautifully done from St. Clair. Hyun and Redex, between the two of them, they ended up wiping out the whole team. Hyun had 4 kills there, including a kill onto the Riptire. You know, Funman had huge success with the Riptires earlier, so taking out that Riptire was actually a very, very great play from Hyun. And then Redex with some great cleanup to just make sure that Illinois could not survive, and he's going to be very close to the beat now.
Nothing feels better than shutting down a junk tire and just knowing like that could have been 4 of our players dead. Like, oh, it's just so satisfying. Say, especially a character like Junkrat, where you're not actually going to see him most of the game. You're just kind of getting shot from off screen. To shut that tire down, absolutely huge for St. Clair. And honestly, Ultimate Difference has been a huge story. Shatter is going to come through for Squeak. Not going to find a whole lot of value though. Field is going to come up as well. Still going to try to get that poke damage. Diva Bomb is going to go through. Will it find anything? Unable to find anything. Yun is going to get the kill on Flumux though. Crime going to find one. Squeak going to get traded out. Emran very, very low. Will get knocked out as well. Andrew going to find the double kill there. So both teams really good back and forth. Once again, Crime does such a good job on that backline, able to find that pick, and St. Clair looks like they might walk away with a small advantage here.
Yeah, really nicely done there from St. Clair. We saw beats coming out from both sides, and Saints, they were just able to utilize it a little bit better, right? They had the more coordination. When they pressed W, they were able to find the picks a little bit more quickly. And, you know, we saw the Junkrat, it was finding decent success, but Hyun is doing such a good job of negating damage and making it hard for Funman to find picks, and Crime is so consistently dealing so much more damage that St. Clair have a huge advantage right now. Now we see the Deadeye comes out, does get blocked by the shield, but, you know, it did force this Illinois in order to rotate into a kind of rough position for them. Now all the members of Illinois going super low. Squeak charges in, looks for the picks, and, you know, Illinois, they got pushed back so hard they couldn't even touch.
Yeah, I think whether it was the fear of the Diva Bomb, because it actually didn't even end up exploding, but Saints just couple ultimates together, get a couple kills, and yeah, just like you said, Illinois they weren't anywhere near the point by the end there, and they did such a good job in the beginning part there. I think they got to 30 or 40% uncontested, and then St. Clair just kicked it into extra gear. Crime finding those backline picks, and then just as you said, he did such a good job of, I'm going to get in front of everyone, basically neutralize the Junkrat, because here's the thing, if the junk tire gets destroyed and then you have Diva face checking Junkrat, what value are you really getting out of him, you know? You're not really going to get as much as you nearly thought, and just St. Clair doing an excellent job of just holding back Illinois there, and say by the end, Illinois was like miles off of the payload.
Yeah,
the point,
really well done from St. Clair there, you know, using that win condition of the Brawl comp perfectly. They pressed W, they played hard, they played fast, and they found so many picks there off the back of it. We are going to be going to a quick pause here, as Crime does need to restart, which is kind of interesting, because when he's playing like that, exactly, honestly.
PC check.
He's shredded through his mouse pad with all that aiming he's doing. He's he's playing like a monster right now, so if he needs to take a little bit of a break, you know, you can't blame him really.
I was say get the hand warmers, but I say there's probably scorch marks on his keys and his mouse from how he played the first series there, and that's one thing. Say St. Clair, they just seem to play every single type of hero so well, but the hit scan definitely for Crime that's been one of the top spots for St. Clair, because when you go into every fight, either low damage, and I don't know how Illinois keeps kind of letting them get away with it. Say they can't keep getting away with it, but they had the TP there to try to stop Crime last time, and like no one came through it and actually Crime was standing his back to a Symmetra teleporter and could have very easily gotten murdered in 2 seconds, but nobody from the side of Illinois was able to kind of pick up on that, and then Crime just sits 25 yards away, 7-8 free shots. Say he got the Deadeye within like 30 seconds to start the round, and even if you don't get kills finding ultimates early on, those ultimates create so much fear and so much space for those points that teams are just going to be like scared to death to even jump on. So
absolutely,
you can just cause them to kind of get a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of pushback, and then St. Clair, when they were given an inch, they took a mile.
For sure, yeah. And, you know, like we saw in that first point there, when Crime decided to go kind of on like that off angle, start shooting at them from behind, they were kind of that kind of locked Illinois into place, because they had to deal with St. Clair's Brawl core there coming from the front. They couldn't really back up because that's where Crime was shooting. So they basically just had to stand still, get damage from the front, get damage from the back.
Yeah.
The one good thing that came out of that was Illinois' Baptiste was able to build his window super fast because of all the healing he was doing. But, you know, end of the day, that doesn't solve the problem, which is Crime is in your back line. He is shooting you in your back. He is breaking your spines.
Yeah, and the one thing on Rialto, it was pretty much like the world's greatest pincer attack. It was Emran on the far left and Crime on the far right, just crossfiring each other essentially across the entire map. So Illinois is condensed into like these two little hallways, sniper bullets and arrows flying across, like face checking them the entire time. So obviously some of them are going to land eventually, even if the shield is eating a lot of the damage. You're still walking into it now like a brawl fight with chunk down shield or no shield, depending on how many shots landed. And Illinois, just when St. Clair has that little bit of advantage, we clearly see like they realize like it's goal mode now. We need to attack and put our foot forward here.
For sure, yeah. And you know, from the side of Illinois, something that I think you want to start seeing from them is something we're seeing a lot from Hyun. Hyun is doing a great job job of seeing like if people get out of position. He immediately has the boosters going, flying over there, dealing with it, whether it's eating damage, whether it's just beating them down with the mech. Like he's always actively doing something. And Illinois, they're not really quite doing that as much. Like if Crime is on that off angle, you got to send someone to deal with him. And usually that's going to be either your off tank or your Lucio, right? So if we see maybe like those two players take a bit more of an active role in, like, you don't even have to get the kill. All you have to do is like just pressure them back, like just deny them that value, right? If we see a little bit more of that happening, maybe Illinois will have a little bit of an easier time here as they're playing. Yeah,
and I totally agree. So I would send. I like the idea of like sending like the damagey supports in the backline, but if you want that consistent pressure, say you don't need to go for the kill. A 1-for-1 kill isn't necessarily equal depending on where you are in the map and where the respawn location is. So getting that 1-for-1, not always the best idea, but if you can get consistent pressure and keep one of the Saints off of the point or out of kind of what he wants to do, that's almost as valuable as a kill, if not more, because if HUE is getting incredible value and is an invaluable piece, if you can get him to basically not play the game a little more, you're going to maybe find yourself, you have a couple more situations where you might win some fights and turn things around, but Illinois definitely have to turn things around right now because St. Clair is sitting on match point right now.
For sure. And as we go now into Nepal Shrine, we see the Farah comp coming out from St. Clair versus the Echo comp from Illinois. But Emran is already able to find a quick pick onto Hero using that damage boosted rockets. They do so much damage. And now both the DPS here from St. Clair are going to be trying to chase down this Echo, seeing if they can take that Sky Duel. But while that's happening, Crime is able to take out Andrew, and now the rest of the St. Clair, they just walk into that room, they follow up, and they start finding some picks. We see Flash Fatal did make a play to try and put pressure onto Rain, but a quick purple came out and some quick peel ended up forcing him back. And Squeak once again takes out Hero. Hero's having a rough time right now on the Tracer.
Yeah, it's so hard because he's really trying his best. You can clearly tell because Illinois knows they're really having trouble. Even if they're running the brawl comp, they're having trouble getting those backline picks. So they're kind of overcompensating, trying to like, hey, we need someone to kind of make a hero play here, but that's not necessarily going to be the greatest idea because St. Clair, they're really akin to those backline pushes because it's been so repetitive over this series now, and they almost seem like, okay, oh, you're here now. Not like, oh, they're here backline, surprise. It's like, oh, they're here now. Now we're time to go. And once again, Squeak doing a great job just running the other ball off of the point there. Might find the kill as well. Actually, will not, but he should be able to get out of here with his life. A little bit of HP left. Now Crime is going to be there. Has a Tracer Bomb online. Is going to use it as well. Will he find anything? But Emran, once again,
Emran actually takes out the Echo Mercy
Farah
by
is
himself.
The most frustratingly annoying thing to fight against because if your DPS isn't cracking that Mercy, it's basically unstoppable. And especially on a map like this where you have so much space to operate in the air and that the explosive damage, say, look in the spawner here, pocketed by Mercy, immediate chip damage before you can even leave the spawn door.
Yeah, you can see Emran, he's literally just spawn camping them from the point right now, shooting those rockets in from far range. And Funman, he's had enough of those shenanigans. He doesn't want to take that air duel anymore. He's going to be swapping to that Sombra. And Illinois, they're actually going to be swapping to a 6-man comp here, a 6-man dive comp using that Monkey, D.Va, and the Moira. So Illinois, they're probably going to be looking for the Ana, someone in the backline here that they can just dive on quick. But yeah, you'd be remiss to not mention the fact that St. Clair has 5 ults. Oh, a nice eat comes through, but it's not enough. The damage comes through. Funman goes down. Flash Fatal gets D-Max. Crime there with the cleanup. Finds picks onto Flash Fatal and Snowbiss. And that's like, yeah, we're at 85% here. Illinois is in dire straits.
And I feel bad only calling out 3 names, but HUE, Crime, and who was it? I can't speak. HUE, Crime, and Emran there, just basically the 3-man game. The ultimate didn't look like it got as much value, but all the damage still went through, so everyone's just sitting around 1 or 2 shot. Everyone just there for the cleanup crew, and once again, St. Clair only had to burn 1 or 2 ultis. The mines still come through on the backside there for Squeak, so great job. Just displays those mines on that back staircase, so if anyone wants to play that backline, they're going to be in for a rude awakening. A couple kills are going to come through, and the Saints, barring some kind of disaster, they're going to walk away with this one 100-0.
Yeah, it does look like Sis is all Saints right now. Illinois have been wiped out, and Saints, they're cleaned up with another 2-0, and that's going to put them winning both series for today. Really nice stuff from Saints, and, I'm really happy that what we saw yesterday didn't happen this time. Saints, they decided to give it 100% the whole way through this time, and it absolutely showed. Illinois, there was just almost nothing they could do that entire time. And this is actually the play we saw. He destroys the Riptire, just destroys Funman, and just chases these guys down, hits the BAP off the map. Like, that's what I was talking about, right?
Like,
Like,
Chad Diva play you can make.
Hyun using those boosters to just go all over the place doesn't deny so much value. Like, as soon as he sees an opportunity to go in, he's taking it.
Yeah, and knowing that he dove through the junk tire too with the boosters, it's just a little more satisfying. Basically, just dashes his way through the entire team, finds 2 kills and the tire to boot. So, St. Clair, as you said, yesterday they had a little bit of a back and forth, but today it was honestly just almost pure dominance. And I think the entire team played great. We saw such good teamwork out of everyone, but you would be remiss to not just highlight the DPS for today, because the DPS opened up the rest of the game for them. And honestly, Illinois, we saw how much fire damage was being done in the spawn. They just weren't allowed to play the video game for that parts. And
no,
a map like that, it's really hard to snowball your way back into it when you're down like that.
And you know, sometimes like when you're in a situation like that, sometimes the play is, okay, here's what we do: we take all of our people, we focus their carry DPS. But the thing is, we have 2 carry DPSs. If you take down Crime, everyone's going to be popping off. Like, we saw him on that Pharah just absolutely demolishing.
Yeah,
and
first time Pharah, both series, we hadn't seen it. Just pulls it out, like, got this place.
Yeah, no problem. And Crime on that Tracer was just being an absolute menace. He was denying their Tracer value. He was following up on, like, these, like, on that barrage. Even though it didn't quite find any direct picks, it did so much damage, and Crime immediately swooped in and found 2 quick kills off the back of it, right? So you could see the synergy between these guys is just, it's looking absolutely flawless right now.
I'd be curious to see now. The one thing I think might have helped them is that they're playing the same map pool the last 2 series, so maybe they're like, okay, what you said yesterday, they realized series 2, they're like, okay, maybe it wasn't troll pick, but they maybe tried something because it's still a little bit of a new team. Maybe we can try this comp, see how things play out, but just obviously didn't work yesterday. But today maybe they're like, okay, back to the basics. The one thing though, they made such good reads, and that's the most impressive thing. It's really hard to kind of get a read on teams, but when they're able to just like, they literally were like, they had the same book open, turn to the page, open book test, it looked like in the second part of our Rialto.
Absolutely.
They were ready for every single play.
Like, you know, something we mentioned yesterday from Northeastern on the second series there was that it looked like the first game was a bit of like a download for them, right? They were just trying to figure out St. Clair strategies. St. Clair, it seems like they took a page out of Northeastern's playbook and they downloaded their opponents today because Illinois was just playing right into their hands, and St. Clair, they look to be in control the whole way through, basically. Yeah,
we saw a whole lot of Saints control today. We saw the Rocket League team first with Aquinas Esports, came away with a 4-0 sweep, and now 2-0 sweep and back-to-back best-of-3s of Illinois Wesleyan University. So overall, we saw, and I think teamwork is the theme of the day today. We saw it both in Rocket League and Overwatch. Everything seems to be clicking at the right time as HUE 22 stretches on here throughout the week, and I think we are going to be back tomorrow as well with 5 p.m. We do have some League of Legends, so any final words before we sign things off here?
You know, just for me, I'm just really glad that St. Clair have made like an overnight improvement, basically, right? Like we saw their coordination was looking just absolutely great today. Crime and Emerin, they popped out throughout the whole series, so that's some great improvement that we see from last night. And if they're going to be playing at this level throughout the season, throughout the rest of HUE, I'm really excited to see how far they can go.
Yeah. Well, the last thing from me is make sure to tell someone that you love them, and we'll catch you guys all in the next one.
Thank you all for being here. Bide their time and wait for all 6 players to come back before re-engaging here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when we get some ultimates online there, because that was a great little back and forth skirmish.
Oh, a nice pick from Crime.
Start of it, yeah, fantastic shot. They're going to be a little Ash on Ash Crime, no pun intended. Emerin and Grain both going to find one as well. Now 3 members of Illinois down. Looks like it will be 4. 4 going to go down. 5 will go down as well. Ash now in the
flex support. He's doing really great right now, and he does have that transcendence, which could be used to counter the push here from Illinois.
Yeah, Arissa at 80% for this ult charge here. HUE gonna try to find some damage. Gonna get the Sigma, gonna pop a bunch off. Slam him back down, gonna find a couple kills as well. Gonna find 2 actually. Emerin gonna find one as well. Ash gonna take out Bob. Redx gonna find a kill as well. So the Saints once again
just got out here. Oh, some nice shots from Emerin are able to find the Zenyatta. He shoots the Dragon to the side. The Sigma from Illinois is a bit isolated here. He goes very low. Crime does manage to take him out. Crime with 2 picks here now. Now we see Squeak pushing forward, putting in tons of shots here into the DPS from the side of Illinois. The Orisa, Flummox, he's gonna have to just push way back and kill. And on a map like Rialto, that 3rd point is really hard to cap. It's very defender favored. So capping it like that it's no small feat, and St. Clair, they're probably feeling really happy about that right now.
Yeah, I don't think from the attacking side you really could have played that any better from the side of the Saints. They kind of just walk through and getting immediate pick by Redux, gonna get the finish, but Crime, they gotta drop Crime. No
but Emerin is right there to pick up the slack.
For the cleanup. Great job there to follow up, and now Squeak gonna find the kill on Flummox as well, and St. Clair just dropping him. Emerin continuing the warpath, gonna find his 4th of the fight. Only 2 members of Illinois remain, one being the Widow. She is not going to push up, and Emerin almost single-handedly shoving back Illinois to P1 here and trying to make a push. Gonna be falling behind that Reinhardt hammer, full strength. Diva gonna try to get some shots.
Oh, Squeak is charging straight in.
Yeah, Saints gonna try to take the point back, gonna run at them. Squeak and Crime both gonna find. Crime's gonna find 2, dropping 2 members of Illinois. Saints look like they are gonna end up taking this fight, and they should be able to gain control of the point here. A couple members Red X gonna get the boop on the flash.
They only had to use the window, which of course is incredibly fast charging, and the Genji blade.
Yeah, and I think Hero, unless he switched off, oh no, yeah, he would have switched off, say, wouldn't you have got the Death Blossom yet, but say, yeah, one ultimate being able to hold, and you'll take a 4 for, even if your tank goes down, you'll take that 4-for-1 trade every single day of the week, say, especially Squeak running in there. Dunk Tire is gonna come and try to find
it's a
gonna
huge
find 3,
tire.
It's a massive Dunk Tire, Flash
able to
Fatal.
kind of negate the Shatter, even though it did find Squeak, some nice immortality field came out from Arjun, keep him alive, make sure that no damage or no value was really found from that, and now Squeak is going to be coming in here with a Shatter, Tire from behind. The Shatter is huge! Finds 3 people. He cleans up, finds 2 picks. Funman is able to take out Red X with the Tire, but it's not even going to matter. Emran pressure, like you can see, he's controlling Illinois. These 2 snipers are controlling Illinois' positioning so heavily right now. They can't back into courtyard. They can't push forward. They have to kind of hug this wall and just back forward slowly. But, you know, Saints, they're just going to go straight in. They're going to start looking for picks. Yon walks in, Squeak charges in. Emran is able to follow up, and everyone on Saints is lighting up.
So even if he's not landing all of his shots, which I don't think he had landed any headshots yet, 5 members of Illinois were aware that he was there once that first shot went by, and you could tell they were starting to put the focus on, and then Emran able to just walk up, get the storm arrows going, get the hail of arrows, and just start laying into Illinois. And once again, now Flummox gonna get knocked off the map, and 4 members of Illinois are gonna fall, just leaving Flash Fatal all alone, and he's gonna be back.
Hanzo, and now St. Clair, they're getting it past this choke point, and Illinois, they're gonna have to start staggering out here in order to contest the point. The ball comes out, immediately gets flashed, takes a ton of damage. Funman is taken out. Red X with 2 picks. Hyun finds a 3rd onto the Baptiste. Now Flash Fatal is going to be rolling around the point, but immediately gets taken out by Hyun. And yeah, Illinois are not able to be able to engage onto those heroes very easily. But when you're running the Ashe, when you're running the Torbjorn, first of all, that Torb turret, that locks onto anyone who tries to get out into that open space, especially for someone like Tracer, who is very squishy. It chunks so much health out. Now we see, and flank from Andrew actually gets a pick. A bit surprising there. Onto that, uses the mines, is able to take out Rain. Now there's no Baptiste from the side of St. Clair. This could be Illinois' chance to go in. Funman is able to take out Squeak. Emran did take out Andrew, but fortunately, Illinois finally, they have some point control here. They're starting to make some progress. Emran, in a bit of a 1v1 with the Mercy, stays alive with 6 HP and finds Funman with the Torbo. Ready 20% to another one.
Yeah, so he hadn't switched off, so yeah, immediately popped the pen. Trying to find some information to value as well. And now we're going to see Illinois does still have point control. St. Clair is trying to fight back for it. They're going to try to dive on the mid here. Hyun is going to try to get on here. They are going to full send it. Diva Bomb is going to come through. Will it find anything? Going to find one and take out Flummox. So main tank down. Now St. Clair should be able to get the space. They need to create damage.
St. Clair have a huge advantage right now. Now we see the Deadeye comes out, does get blocked by the shield, but you know, it did force this Illinois in order to rotate into a kind of rough position for them. Now all the members of Illinois going super low. Squeak charges in, looks for the picks, and you know, Illinois, they got pushed back so hard they couldn't even touch.
Yeah, I feel if it was the
6-man comp here, a 6-man dive comp using that Monkey, Diva, and the Moira. So Illinois is probably going to be looking for the Ana, someone in the backline here that they can just dive on quick. But yeah, you'd be remiss to not mention the fact that St. Clair has 5 ults. Oh, a nice eat comes through, but it's not enough. The damage comes through. Funman goes down. Flash Fade.